Test, test. So, einen wunderschönen guten Abend und herzlich willkommen zur Pressekonferenz hier im Rahmen von OKTAGON 69.
Good evening, welcome to this press conference here at OKTAGON 69 here in Dortmund.
Die erste Hälfte der Pressekonferenz hier sozusagen
This will be the first part of the press conference.
Meine erste Frage, bevor ich das Wort an die
And we can also begin with the first question straight away before I give the floor to the
Frederick Vosgrone,
to you, to the journalists. Is the question for Frederick Vosgrone? We unfortunately didn't have the time to speak after the fight. We also saw the stare down between you and Will Fleury. When do you think this fight could happen? Do you think that you can get the title?
No, I think, I mean, yesterday OKTAGON said that it probably would be the winner of Langer and Popek. So, yeah, I'd be happy to fight one of those guys. But who knows, maybe one of those guys will get injured. You know, you never know in MMA, so could be the next one, right? But in general, I think will be a great fight for the fans, and yeah, will be a war. Yeah, because yeah, nobody can take me out, and Will is hard to take out. So no, I think it would be like a genuine, like really good fight. So yeah, why not soon?
Okay, alles klar, danke dir. Dann sind hier einige Redakteure am Start.
Clear. Does anyone want to have the first question? So I'm gonna ask Frederick as well. There was a huge attention for you, and you delivered what you promised. What does it mean for you, and what does it mean to feel the support? That was actually the only thing when I thought it is maybe a little bit stressful before the fight. I knew that OKTAGON is pushing me a lot. I knew that I have huge support within the German fans and German community, and that's why I wanted to deliver. A question for Eugene Blackell. Today, your performance wasn't enough, but still you showed your fans that you are a great fighter and that your fights are really entertaining. So how did you feel? Are you happy?
Der Kampf, der hat mir sehr Spaß gemacht.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun during the fight.
Ja, schon enttäuschend. Also die ersten Treffer in der ersten Runde, die hätten mich.
But I have to say, I'm of course disappointed. The first
in der zweiten Runde war ich wieder
punches, I felt them a lot, and in the second half, I think that I got a second breath, but I couldn't really get into my flow. And what's happening next for you? It's really fun watching you fight. What are your plans for the future? I think it's going to change a lot. I'm going to train much harder. I'm going to prepare much better. And I really want to get my killer mode on. For now, I love fighting. It's just fighting that is a lot of fun for me. But I really need to get my killer mode to really have this flow. And the next two fights have to be knockouts. Next question goes to Jorick Montagnac. You lost in the second round. And you expected what Frederick did, that he's going to have a heel hook and will want to have a submission. How did you feel, and what maybe did you not do so well about your game plan?
Je savais que Frédéric aurait voulu me lutter. J'avais prévu un game plan pour ça. Il a su le déjouer, bien joué. Maintenant, je vais de l'avant. J'ai besoin de temps dans la cage. J'ai besoin de beaucoup de temps dans la cage pour montrer vraiment mon plein potentiel. Comme vous savez, je reviens d'un an. Vous allez voir qui est Jorick. Incessamment sous peu.
I knew he was going to wrestle me. I had my game plan. But, you know, he went against my game plan. I need some time in the cage to fight against him and to show my real level.
Thank you. Die Frage an Mohamed Walid, du hast jetzt deinen ersten
Question
Octagon-Sieg
for
geholt. Hast schon
Mohamed
gesagt, auf dem
Walid.
Käfig, dieses Rematch gegen Benno
You've
Adamia, das willst du
shown
haben,
us
das war
what
das
you
Split
have.
Decision.
You won
Was denkst
for the
du,
first
wie
time in
knapp bist du
Octagon
vor
in the
dem
cage,
Kampf
and you
gekommen?
said that
Brauchst du noch
you
einen Kampf
wanted
oder wirst du
to
sofort den Kampf
fight
bekommen
Benno
gegen
Adamia.
Benno Adamia?
Do you think that you're close to getting the title?
Hi everyone. So I'm so happy to be here. It was a great performance tonight. The fight was good as we planned with coach. Everything was good. And the fight with Benno, I won this fight because 3 years ago I lost to him. A split decision, was too close fight. And now it's time to take the revenge on the belt. I am here. It's my division. I am fresh. Why not? I want the belt. If the Octagon give me, I'm ready.
So, Jakub von MMA ohne Maske, Frage an Karol Ryszäwy. Karol, du warst jetzt nach 2
Question
Niederlagen
for
in Folge.
Karol Ryszäwy.
Hast
After
du
2
irgendwie Druck
losses,
gespürt vor dem
you've
Kampf
shown us that you're
abzuliefern? Weil
amazing. Did you feel any pressure
meistens
before the
in
fight
MMA
itself?
ist es so, nach 3 Niederlagen
In
eventuell droht
MMA,
die
usually
Karriere
after
endet.
3
Du
losses,
bist noch junger Kerl.
it could be the end of your career, but you're still very young and won today. So how do you feel?
Porážky boli 2 v rade.
Well, there were 2 losses in a row, and I did feel certain pressure, but you always feel a pressure before your fight. I think that maybe I felt more pressure about what was happening on in my personal life, but I think that I had a really good opponent. I didn't expect him to be as tough, but I'm really happy that I managed to win here in Dortmund. There were 15,000 people watching me, and I'm really happy. You know, the losses are in the past, and this is a new chapter for me. And do you prefer to fight in Germany or in Slovakia? What do you like better? Well, of course, it's better to fight at home because you have your home base, your fans, you're on your home turf. But it wasn't a problem for me today here in Dortmund in Germany. I felt great. I wasn't booed out. I think that they liked my fight, and I will like to keep coming back to Germany, and I think that I can win the German audience over. The next question for Mo Grabinski. Congratulations. How does it feel to win after 4 losses, to get your winning streak back? Of course, I'm really happy. I'm happy that I have my winning streak back. The last 2 fights were very close. I lost through split decision. I think that I should have won, but unfortunately the decision was that I'm going to lose. And in the end of the day, everyone just looks at topology, where people can only see that it was a loss, and no one cares about how actually the fight went. Was it split or was it unanimous? The only thing that matters for people is that you lost. So that's why I'm really happy that I won now and I got my winning streak back. After the second round, I have to say that I saw that even the second round was decided for my opponent, in my opponent's favor. And that's what gave me the last kick, and I got really motivated, and I knew that I had to give it my all in the third round. And that's why I like the open scoring.
Sorry, ich will dich nicht unterbrechen, du kannst gleich weitermachen, aber ich habe noch eine kurze Meldung, die ich
I just have a short announcement that I got from the director. The bonus of the night goes to Frederick Vosgrone. So, congratulations.
So, bitte, weiter geht's.
Okay.
So we can move on.
Also, ich wollte die Frage nochmal erweitern.
I just wanted to follow up on that question. You were supposed to face Wahid Najant, and he's going to be on the Hamburg fight card. I know that this is no matchmaking here, but would you be interested in this? If I didn't get another opponent, I would face him in Hamburg. Next week, I have a surgery of my elbow. I was willing to postpone this surgery. I was willing to go forward with the surgery in June after facing Najant, but because I got an opponent and I won, now I'll just do the surgery to have it over with as soon as possible. And you know, the time schedule between the surgery and the match, it's not aligned. We don't have enough time. 6 to 8 weeks I won't be able to train. I will have to do physical therapy. So I think that the earliest I can face someone is September, October. In September we're going to Frankfurt. October is a tournament in Cologne. So maybe there. I think that Wahid will have a great opponent. But maybe later we can fight together. Frederick, do you want to tell us what you want to do with the bonus that you won? I have no idea. I'll probably pay my bills. I have to say that I never got so much money for a fight, but I think that I'll go and eat out. That's on my list. The next question goes to Eugene Blackell. In the first round, you took Karol down. How did you manage? It was actually in the beginning of the round, and it was an easy thing to do. I think that we both are quite dry. There's not that much sweat. So I didn't want to take as many risks when standing, because I'm good on the ground. And of course, then we stood up and it began all over again.
Aaron Abbey. Aaron, I think you would agree that we saw a different Mohamed Walid today. He looked different to his last fights. Was there something that was surprising for you in his fight style, and how would you describe the fight from your point of view?
No, not really. I expected him to be good. I expected the fight to be tough. I can't remember Mohamed's last fight, who he was against, but I've watched a few of them, and he's well-rounded. He's a good fighter. For me, there was some decisions I maybe made which cost me some of the rounds that I was doing well in. You know, I felt good in the striking. I felt good especially in the grappling, and I feel like just some decision making, which was maybe cost me the rounds. You know, I think about where I am at the moment. It's a low point in my career. I'm not happy with it, but it doesn't mean I stop.
So, a question for Mohamed Walid. And Mohamed, you know that Aaron Abbey is very excellent. He's very excellent on the ground. Had a good submission game, and also is very good in the grappling. How did you prepare for the fight, and how did you saw the fight?
So all my respect to Aaron, he's a good fighter. This is why I love this kind of fights. This brings the best out of me, you know. And I know what's coming. We did all the game plan. I know he do what he do, and the good training quality paid off. This is why I could keep it up and I win the fight. Thank you.
Next question for Jorick Montagnac. Jorick, yesterday was the weigh-ins, and I saw you that you had problems with your right knee. Was that a problem in the fight, or?
Non, ce n'a pas été un problème. Je pense que sur ce combat, j'ai manqué un peu de précision. Vous pouvez le voir. Il faut juste que je travaille plus dur, et j'espère pouvoir combattre en juin et vous montrer vraiment ce que je vaux.
No, it wasn't a problem. I think in this fight I was just not accurate enough. You could have seen it on his face. You know, I just have to prepare better, harder, and I'm going to be coming back in June.
Nächste Frage für Frederick Vosgrone. Frederick, du hast dich sehr, sehr schnell zu eines der Publikumslieblinge hochgearbeitet.
You've very quickly become beloved by the audience. This was your first fight in the octagon. Is it important for you to be the favorite? Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna say I don't like it. I like being celebrated by people, but it's not my main goal.
durch kämpferische Fähigkeiten.
My goal isn't to be beloved by the audience. My goal is to show what I can do. And when people like me, I find joy in it, and I'm glad about their support. Last question for Mo Grabinski. This was your first win after your 4-loss streak. Did you change anything in how you prepared? Something that helped you win today? Well, as far as my prep, I felt like it was way smoother, and I didn't feel like it was as good as before, weirdly. It's Ramadan, as you may know, so I had to deal with that. My wife was sick. In the meantime, my kids were too. I have the flu. Everything went wrong, and then, repeatedly we got better, got sick again. But I didn't want to cancel the fight. Nobody wants to do that. So I didn't change that much, but I was more determined than before. As I've said, my last two fights were lost on points. Today, I really wanted to get a finish before the limit, but you can't force it. I'm still glad how it ended up.
Manuel von MMA for Fans. Nächste Frage geht an Mohamed Walid. Ja.
Question for Mohamed Walid.
Give us your thoughts about the fight and about your entrance into this event when you're coming out. Did you expect that these crowds were so loud?
It was amazing, man. 50,000 people. Of course, it's crazy, yeah. And I love it. It was everything on the point. The organization absolutely make fantastic job here, and I just love it, man. It was amazing night, amazing performance. I can't wait to be back. Believe me.
You show a good performance tonight. Did you do something? Did you change something in your game because of the change of the gym now?
Yeah, of course. When I changed the gym, I find myself in better place because now I have a good coach who know what I do good, what I don't do good. And today I'm more than happy. I'm triple happy because Johnny and Max win too. So 3-0 for the fight school. This is the good work results,
Thanks.
Thank you.
So, ich habe noch eine Frage an Lucia Pudilova. Lucia Pudilova, herzlichen Glückwunsch zum deinen Sieg.
Question for Lucia Pudilova. Congratulations. It was a great fight that we saw from you today. If it was up to you, what would you prefer? A rematch with Bolander or a fight with Sabova?
Další zápas by jsem chtěla s Lucií Sabovou.
I'd like my next fight to be against Sabova.
Ta by měla teďka s ní bojovat, ale
I think Sabova is supposed to face off against Bolander now, but I don't know why she wouldn't want to. I don't understand. So I hope that I'll get to fight Lucia, and then I'll get to show what the Queen of OKTAGON can do. I really want to prove that to you, so I'm excited.
Giro von Ketchups, Frage an Eugen Blackell. Du hast ihn ja
Question for Eugene Blackell.
Niedergeschlagen. Ja, auch dich in der zweiten, kurz vor Ende der zweiten, bist du in die Guillotine reingekommen. Von außen sah es aus,
in the first round, we saw a guillotine there. You started defending against it. Did you know in that moment that there were 10 seconds left? Did you know that it was coming to an end?
Bei der Guillotine, da habe ich aus Versehen auf jeden Fall meinen Arsch erstmal runtergemacht und das war der Fehler.
Well, when he put on the guillotine, I really made a mistake. That's clear. I knew that. But he just had me so deep that I couldn't do anything. My nose was like I couldn't breathe through it. I was panicking. I tried to breathe in, but I couldn't. And I was like, yeah, I can't hold on for a minute. So when I tapped, I saw the 10 seconds left, and I was like, oh my gosh, but I can't change it now.
Du hast ja gefinisht 10 Sekunden vor Ende. Wusstest du, in welchem
Question for Karol. You got your opponent 10 seconds before the end of the round. Did you know that that's all that was left? Not really, but I had him in a really good hold. This is my favorite submission to perform, and I think that he would have blacked out. He would have went to sleep within that 10 seconds.
Thank you. Frage an Mo Grabinski. Wir haben ja vorhin uns unterhalten.
Question for Mo Grabinski. We've talked about this.
Ein paar Kämpfe schon verloren hat. Dann ist meistens ein bisschen brenzlig. Du hast mir gesagt, das hat dich eher
You won.
motiviert, dass du diese Niederlagen
Sorry, you've lost a couple fights, and those were quite close calls. How did you get the winning mentality that you came in here with? Well, you can't just take that away from me. I don't care about losses. I'm not gonna get scared. I will still keep going, moving forward.
Ohne Niederlage ihre Karriere zu Ende gebracht haben.
I was born to fight, and I don't know many fighters that got no losses during their career. Yeah, there are such people, but there's not many of them, and I got a win tonight, and I'm happy about it. But tomorrow and the day after, that will keep dissipating. And now I'll start working hard from ground zero. This just keeps getting me stronger. The two losses, I only took the positive away from that, and it helped me today as well.
Mir wurde gerade mitgeteilt, dass wir aus Zeitgründen nur noch 1 bis 2 Fragen machen können. Ja, also deswegen bitte haltet euch kurz.
So I've been told we only have time for 2 more questions.
Also meine Frage an Philipp. Du warst natürlich
Question for Philip.
Hast du mitgekriegt, was genau Max zu
commented on tonight's fight. Did you hear what Max told Dennis after that fight and what happened there? How did you feel in that moment?
Max hat das ja auch im Postfight-Interview nochmal klargestellt, dass eben während des Kampfes von
Max explained afterwards, during the fight,
wurde und dass,
people were rude from him, from Ilbai's corner.
Ja, ist dann halt in der Sekunde so, kannst du
and he said that he could hear it, that the live stream could hear it, and I'm sorry if they could.
Nur gewonnen hätte und
but I feel like it's a bittersweet end to Holzer's win. If he said, okay, I've won, now let's shake hands, that would have been one thing.
So hat sich halt selber verbaut. Ist zumindest meine
It would have put him on the Olympus of MMA, but I think he kind of screwed up there. But that's just my opinion.
Es ist einfach ein emotionaler
We'll see what the
Sport.
consequences are going to be.
Hat über die Stränge geschlagen.
This is a sport that brings out emotions in people, but he went beyond the line. We'll see what happens next.
You mentioned being on a bit of a tough run right now. What's next for you?
Ideally, I would, like to get out again in June and get back working towards something. Like I said, this is probably the lowest point in my career from a sporting point of view. When I look at it today, it was meant to be a lot different. Like, this was my 15th fight since cancer, and it was, it feels tough. It feels tough to take, but like I said, I know I'm coming to the end, like the later years in my career, but I'm not there yet, and I'm not ready to give up on the dream. Like, I was born to do this, and I love doing it, and it's hard because it does play on you emotionally. So again, I just gotta keep moving forward, wake up tomorrow and put a plan together on how I'm going to do that, and ideally as soon as possible. Thank you.
Okay, danke schön. Also, das war's mit dem ersten Part der Pressekonferenz. Wir bauen jetzt ganz kurz um. Die Kämpfer aus der Maincard.
Thank you very much. That was the first part of the conference, and in a couple minutes we'll see you here again with the second part and new round of fighters.
Get ready for the highly anticipated welterweight showdown. Andrei Kalashnik, the machine gun from Brno, has Karlovy Vary in his crosshairs. He'll face the formidable and experienced Mate Kurtis. The Czech-Hungarian duel is bound to deliver fans an intense battle. Kalashnik and Kurtis Kurtesh share an immense amount of fighting experience. Both fighters have managed to defeat Christian Jungwirth to claim the incredibly valuable scalp. Experience the pure passion of fighting up close and personal. For the first time in Karlovy Vary, Octagon 70, Kalashnik vs Kurtesh. Coming to you on April 26th at the KV Arena. Get your tickets at octagonmma.com or watch the action live on octagon.tv. World champions and their emotional stories. An electric atmosphere. An unforgettable experience. Octagon MMA.
Welcome everyone on the second part of press conference after Octagon 69 here in Dortmund. We saw an amazing fight, sold out arena, great numbers on RTL Plus and Octagon.tv. So thank you everyone who was part of this. Big thanks to the team Octagon who made this happen, and of course the fighters that participate and entertain us whole night.
Yeah, you already know Tipsport performance of the night, Frederick Vosgrone. So congrats one more time. Frederick is already took the money and he's on the way to the party. If anybody wants to submit him, they can try. First, yeah, Max said that he will. Okay, so we will see. First question.
Hier. Edis, erste Frage an dich. Du hast gestern angesprochen, dieser 50% Edis gegen diese 100% Edis.
Yesterday you spoke about the 4 knockdowns.
Dann kam der 100% Edis raus mit dem Finish.
Apparently, it was 100% of you in this fight. Yes, this was my first fight. We cannot forget this. This was my first weight cut, first fight, first time in front of such a huge audience. So this was the first time for me, actually. When I had to make weight, I felt like I was going to black out. But then I recovered really quickly, I calmed down, and I could give it my all. I really got my flow, but I couldn't expect such strength, and I also wouldn't expect Uwe to have such strong punches. So no kidding, I had a lot of fun. Do you expect more fights here at Octagon or in MMA or maybe a higher weight class? Definitely, but no weight cuts anymore. That was enough for me. I'm not cutting weight anymore, but in my weight class, I think, yeah, why not? I would love to have that. I didn't do this just for one fight. I'm really excited about this and would like to repeat this.
Mehrere Kämpfe zu machen hier bei Octagon.
Uwe, would you be interested to join Octagon again for another fight? Yeah, definitely, but again in my weight class. That's incredible. He's a really tough fighter. I think that I underestimated him, but that doesn't matter. I think that we delivered what we've promised. It was a professional fight. It was fun. It was great. And everyone said, Edis is going to take him down. Edis is going to do this and that. But everything turned out to be completely different, and that's what MMA is. I didn't expect this at all. Have you seen this as an influencer's fight? No, I think that we were great. We were professional. Yeah, definitely. It was great. Uwe, he said, let's do this together. It was a really great fight. Question for Dennis. We know how emotionally loaded this fight was, and now you lost. How do you feel? The feelings are completely normal. I lost. That's part of MMA. What happened after is not part of MMA, as far as I'm concerned. But, you know, congrats. He's shown what he has. I also have shown him that I can make it difficult for him. I can make his life in the cage much more difficult. And I think that he realized very quickly that he doesn't want to keep standing with me. I'm sorry about what happened after that. But, you know, it happened. It's not part of MMA. I don't think that it was right. As far as I'm concerned, I would like to apologize to everyone, to Octagon, RTL Plus, and Max Holzer as well. Sorry. But what happened was the last drop. I'm sorry, I also want to say that I apologize for all the shit that I've said. I think that we really, you know, showed a great fight. And I want to say I do respect you. I respect you and your close relationship towards your family, to you being so close-knitted, and I'm sorry for what I did. Of course, you're not looking at me, but I want to shake your hand. Are you going to shake my hand? No, but I really want to say I'm sorry.
Khalid, du hast vor dem Kampf gesagt, du willst gegen Max Holzer kämpfen. Ist das als nächstes zwischen euch beiden?
Before the fight, you said that you wanted to face Max Holzer, Khalid Taha. Do you want to do this? I hope so. I hope that you will be even tougher than Dennis, but I can imagine that. I think that fans deserve a fight like this. Definitely.
Was there anything about Fedor's game
question for Frederick.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be a much easier match. His balance is really good. I just couldn't get the takedowns that I needed. I improvised with the kicks and the cage work, but his balance is really good. His back takes are really good. And I had like a minor injury. My ankle popped in the second round, so I was feeling it in the third. And I don't know, after the fight, I have never been this tired. I laid literally like 20 minutes in the doctor's room, so this is the most exhausted I've ever been. Fedor is good. He's very young. I wasn't this good when I was his age. You know, sky's the limit for that kid, honestly.
And how confident were you going into the scorecards that you won the fight?
I thought I won the first and the second one. I knew I lost the third one. Could have been in 10-8 third one. Honestly, I'm not happy, and if it was up to me, I would give it a draw. I don't want victories like that. So yeah, I know I won the first and second one, but he definitely won the third one, and it's more important how you finish than how you start. So honestly, draw would be okay for me as well. I don't care, but I'm happy I got the victory, so that's it.
And my last question for the promoters. Every time there's an Octagon event here in Germany, in these arenas, the 15,000 crowds, they're so loud, and then you sell out Deutsche Bank Park. Could we see another German stadium get sold out soon, maybe even in 2025?
Yeah, we just love it here. Like, fans are amazing. We saw it tonight. Like, it was unbelievable, really. So definitely we are aiming higher. We like to move the boundaries, what's possible, and do it together with the German fans. Yeah, we are aiming for a stadium, but when, that's still not public, so we'll announce it. But answer is yes, we want to beat the record, of course, but that's a long way.
Kim von Inside the Cage. Erste Frage an Khalid Taha.
The first question for Khalid Taha. Khalid, we spoke yesterday, and you said that you are really excited about your comeback, being back in the cage. Did you feel the same when you entered the cage? I think it was even more crazy than I imagined. I spoke with a friend of mine before, and I told him that everything goes so smoothly. It's actually perfect. It's as if God had written this. I could show such a performance that everyone was shocked. This is exactly how I planned this, how I imagined this, what I hoped for. I have to say that I'm really known for what I do and for the way I fight. This whole comeback thing, I think it was a really strong experience. And a follow-up question. Were you surprised by your opponent in the second round? We felt that you dominated the first round, but in the second round, it looked like you're having some problems. What did you think? No, not at all. I had no problems whatsoever during the whole fight. I think people sometimes forget that it's 15 minutes of the whole fight. People don't get this. People want me to be, in defense and jumping on my opponent from the very beginning. But he's a veteran. He's really good. And when he has a good choke, then it's a good choke. But I'm not gonna fall asleep. I heard everything. I was in control. I knew exactly what was happening. I knew exactly what he was going to do. He was really pushing it, and I was sure that he had to try a lot, and I will get the upper hand very soon. And then I tried my thing, and it was great. It worked. It was fun. I also wish my opponent to get better soon. He didn't look really good after the match. I think that he's in the hospital now, so I really hope him to get better. Thank you. The next question goes to Edis. Edis, you won. How do you assess this influencer fight? It was crazy. It was great. I don't know what the promoters say, whether there will be more influencer fights. But yeah, people were very skeptical at the beginning. They said that there is no point of having influencers facing each other off in the cage. But I didn't feel like there are two influencers fighting each other. I had so much fun.
Maybe I want to tell something to it. Yeah, what he's saying, like, we love this journey of the two regular people, how they are preparing for the MMA fight. Watch the journey and see how they fight. And that's always, for us, normal people, like, beautiful example how it would be if we will be fighting, right, in the cage. So they do it instead of us. We don't have to, and we can see it. And it's always fascinating, and we love to do it. They really perform like professional fighters tonight. Definitely one of the best fights of this night, right? We were all entertained, and that's what we want to do. Like, that's where we are aiming. So more influencers fight in Octagon, you can expect.
Okay, vielleicht noch eine Nachfrage an Edis.
Danke.
Wie gerade auch gesagt,
here's a follow-up question for Edis. So, we might be expecting more influencer fights in the future, but is there anybody that pops into your head? Who could fight somebody you know, a YouTuber, a streamer?
Wer ist Thorsten? Okay, keine Ahnung. Also ich
Sorry, what?
persönlich, weil so mein Favorit war schon von Anfang an, was der Mert
My favorite
Uwe,
for the
den habe ich jetzt auch
from the very beginning was Uwe.
Jetzt gerade aktuell fällt
I
mir
wanted
keiner ein.
him,
Also MMA
and
weiß ich
I
wirklich
got
nicht,
him,
so in derselben Gewichtsklasse,
but
keine
I can't
Ahnung.
think of anybody
Also mein
else who I
Traum
could
war es
take
einfach,
on
gegen Uwe
next,
zu kämpfen,
not
und
even
der
in the
Traum wurde
same
heute wahr.
class.
Jetzt mal gucken, was
My
der
dream
Rest
was
in Zukunft
to
Musik.
face
Erstmal
off
gehe ich
against Uwe, and I got that dream tonight.
abchillen und
And
einfach
anything else that's in the
abchillen und
future, I don't know about. I just want to have a burger now.
Dankeschön. Dann meine nächste Frage an Fedor Duric. Fedor, du hast jetzt
Question
diesen
for
Kampf
Fedor
in einer
Duric.
in einer knappen Decision verloren. Was sind so deine Gefühle nach dem
You
Kampf?
lost by split decision, so how are you feeling?
Mir geht's gut, ich fühle mich gut. Es war
I feel okay.
knapper Kampf. Wir haben beide Vollgas gegeben.
It was a close fight. We both gave it our all.
Läuft das in MMA. Man gibt sein Bestes.
But this is MMA.
Manchmal
That's
reicht
how
es
it works.
nicht.
You
Oder
give it your
man,
all, and sometimes it's not enough. And sometimes it is.
Gibt die letzten Prozente nicht, die gefehlt haben. Und dann, ja. Es war ein knapper
Sometimes
Kampf.
that last
Die letzte
1% that could
Runde habe ich
take you
gewonnen,
over
die
the
erste
top
Teil hat
is just missing, and then you
Die
lose.
dritte Runde
I
hätte
won the
eine
last
10
round,
sein können. Und ja.
but it wasn't enough.
Es ist sehr ärgerlich für mich.
Of
Aber wie
course,
gesagt,
I'm
ich
not
gehe
happy
nach Hause,
about that.
guck mir den Kampf an. Und
But I'll just go home, watch the fight, and learn.
viel an Arbeit.
The next day I'll go to the gym and work on
Dann meine
myself.
letzte Frage geht an Max Holzer.
Question for Max Holzer.
Wie fandest du oder was waren deine Gefühle zu dem Kampf? Hat Ilbay dich vielleicht in Phasen überrascht?
How did
oder
you
kam
feel
alles so,
fighting
wie
in
du
the
es erwartet hast?
cage? And how are you feeling now?
Also ich
Did
habe
anything surprise you?
erwartet, dass er mir ordentlich in die Schnauze haut für alles, was ich gesagt habe. Und auch so
I
oder
was
so ist halt ein
expecting
Kampf, ne?
to
Das macht einen
get
nie
beaten
Unterschied,
up.
was man sagt. Ja, er hat alles
But
gut
it
gemacht,
doesn't
er ist
matter
fertig
what we say
gewesen, er hat sich
before
gut
the fight.
vorbereitet
He
und,
did everything well. He's
ja,
a
meine
strong
Respekt an ihn.
opponent. He prepped
Aber
for me
ja,
well,
trotzdem
and I
konnte ich das
respect
Ding
him
halt
as a fighter.
meiner Meinung nach dominant für mich holen und ich habe auch
But
gezeigt,
still,
dass ich im
I won. I was
sein
the more
kann.
dominant fighter,
Mit
and
meinem
that's the end of it. I
Bildschirmstil
think you can see
funktioniert
that
trotzdem
clearly.
irgendwie.
My weapons worked well for
Frage an
him.
Fedor Duric. Die erste Niederlage ist immer, ich bin hier,
Question for Fedor
immer
Duric. Your
besonders,
first
sag ich mal.
loss.
Also besonders das
That must have been
schwieriger wie
tough,
andere Niederlagen,
interesting.
aber ja, Predrag hat sehr schöne Worte gesagt, dass auch ein Unentschieden sein könnte.
Predrag said some nice words to you
Natürlich nicht schön zu
afterwards.
reden, eine Niederlage ist eine Niederlage, aber tut es ein bisschen
Of
besser
course,
fühlen, dass
loss
es, hey,
is a loss.
es war jetzt nicht komplett dominiert worden, es könnte auch wirklich in deine Richtung kippen.
What
Hab ich ein
about
bisschen mit
the
dem Coach
option of it
unterhalten,
being NC?
lässt es dich ein bisschen besser fühlen.
Would you feel different if the fight had been called not in your favor?
Eine Niederlage ist halt eine Niederlage. Keiner will verlieren.
Well, a
Ich will immer
loss is a
gewinnen
loss.
und,
Nobody wants to lose.
Es gibt nichts, was mich jetzt so glücklich machen kann. Okay, ich habe doch nicht so dominant
There's
verloren
probably
oder so. Ich hab
nothing
verloren,
that
das
could make
entscheidend.
me
Ich möchte nicht
happy
verlieren, ich möchte nur gewinnen.
at this moment.
Ich finde gut, dass du halt
It was
keine
a
Ausreden suchst, das ist
close
natürlich
loss,
sehr,
but
sehr
I don't want to
stark.
lose.
Auf jeden Fall, es konnte
Yeah,
auch
for
in
sure.
deine Richtung
I'm
kippen.
glad that you're not
Aber
looking
wie
for
gesagt, was er
excuses.
gesagt hat und nicht hier so das irgendwie überspielt oder
It could have
so.
been differently.
Kopf hoch und
It could have been you, but Predrag spoke really nicely of you, and I think
Frage
a great
an
career
Max
waits you.
Holzer. Also dein Striking fand ich meiner Meinung nach auch sehr gut.
Question for Max Holzer. Your striking is impeccable, but Dennis's was also good. He's also a good striker.
Gestellt und auch deine Knie waren sehr gut, war eine schöne Stand-up-Fight. Wolltest du das
He
so,
was
dass du sagst, okay, ich
coming
stehe
for the
mit ihm, damit
takedown very
jetzt kein-
fast. Is that what you
nicht alle
thought was
sagen,
going to
zum
happen?
Beispiel, er shootet
Did
nur.
that play into your
Mir ist eigentlich
cards?
komplett egal, was die Leute sagen. Hätte ich ihn in der ersten Sekunde runterwerfen können, hätte ich es gemacht. Ich habe einfach
I don't
nur,
care what people say
ja,
about this
ist
fight.
halt einfach so, Dennis musste so sehr
Or what
aufpassen,
anybody
dass ich ihn nicht
thinks.
runterschmeiße, dass ich natürlich auch im Stand treffen konnte. Also das war mir von vornherein
Dennis,
klar.
Dennis
Und
had
als ich
to
in
pay
Amerika war, habe ich
attention
mit,
not to be
Merab,
taken
trainiert und da
down
habe ich halt auch
and
gesehen,
ruined
man
in the
kann
first round.
durch Arbeitsmoral
You could see that, and I
und
trained
auch,
for this.
einfach durch Druck so viel wegmachen. Man muss nicht der talentierte
I trained with
sein,
Merab.
wenn du einfach Bescheid bist und weiter durchziehst. Ja, auch
And I think you have to be a hard worker
Und,
to
das
be
ist
able
mein
to win fights like these.
Du hast ja die Armbahn gesetzt. Die sah von außen ziemlich eng aus. Hat es dich überrascht, dass er wirklich nicht geklopft hat und dann raus sich gedreht hat?
Also ich kann nicht so gut Armhebel, aber ich dachte, scheiß drauf, ich
You
probier's einfach, weil er hat schon
had
mal
that
verloren.
armbar.
Und ja, das
So,
war's eigentlich.
how did it
Aber
work
ich dachte
out for
einfach,
you?
keine Ahnung, ich
Well,
verwickle ihn so
I'm not
lange
a
in
great
Scrambles
armbar
und,
master,
in der
but I
Regel
just
spiele
thought
ich
I'd give it a
halt, wenn er
shot.
am Arsch ist und
I
dann
thought
verwickeln
it doesn't matter,
oder was auch
he'll
immer.
just
Und
end
das
up
hat ja auch
losing
eigentlich
anyway at
funktioniert.
some point.
Aber ja, trotzdem, ich kann nur sagen, Respekt an ihn.
And it
Er hat
worked.
sich in kurzer Zeit sehr, sehr
But as I said, I
viel
respect him.
weiterentwickelt. Er war auch stark im Wrestling. Und ja, alles danach,
In a
muss ich auch
short
sagen,
time,
tut
he
mir leid,
got
das kann man jetzt nicht
way
rückgängig
better
machen. Aber im
at
Endeffekt,
wrestling especially.
ja,
I've
wir
said
sind doch
what
hier,
I
um ein bisschen
said.
Show zu machen. Also wenn wir jetzt alle uns hier hinsetzen wollen und
I
sagen,
can't
ja, ich
take
halte
that
mein Maul
back,
jetzt
but we're here to put on a little bit
jede
of a show, aren't we?
Pressekonferenz, dann so, wer guckt sich die Sache an? Also natürlich dürfen wir solche Entgleisungen nicht zulassen, aber
Who would watch if there
andererseits sind
wasn't
wir im
anything to watch?
Showbusiness.
If we
Und,
just
ich
kissed each
denke,
other's
Egal,
asses,
wie
it
sein Geld
wouldn't be
damit gemacht
interesting
haben,
to
dass ich,
anybody.
diese Show gemacht habe. Ich habe mein Geld gemacht. Die Promotion wird durch die Decke
I
gehen.
delivered a
Natürlich
show.
war's unsportlich,
I
aber
made
am
some
Ende,
money.
Ja, wir sind dafür hier auch.
For
um
me
die
and
Leute
the
zu entertainen.
promotion.
Also keine Ahnung, ich weiß nicht.
Natürlich, die Aktion war jetzt nicht unbedingt gut, aber klar, Adrenalin, der ganze
Well,
Stress, ne? Jetzt
there was
hast du dich entschuldigt,
adrenaline.
das war nicht von meiner Seite aus gut.
There was
Eine
also
Frage noch an
stress, we
was war das
understand.
mit dem T-Rex?
But was that sportsmanship-like
Er
behavior?
hat ja vornherein gesagt, dass ich grün in den Ohren bin und dann dachte ich einfach, ich mache irgendwas richtig bescheuertes,
Well,
Kindisches. Und danach
Jorick
verprügel ich
said
ihn.
that I was
Und,
a newbie at the beginning,
Aber was soll ich jetzt noch sagen? Keine Ahnung,
that my ears were green, and I told him that I'd
ja.
fuck his face up. And yeah, it was childish, and I'm sorry that it ended up the way it did.
Jetzt Gegenfrage zu dir. Die
Question
Armbar,
for
war
Dennis.
sie eng?
Man sagt ja
What
immer
did you
so,
think about
wenn
the
du einen
armbar
Fehler das
there?
zweite Mal machst, dann ist es kein
Well,
Fehler
people
mehr,
say that
sondern
if you make the same mistake twice,
Und
it's
klar,
not a
ich hab aus dem
mistake.
Kampf gegen Corey
It's
Fry
being
gelernt.
stupid.
Bei dem Kampf war es so, dass er meinen Arm hatte und ich wollte schlagen.
And the
Und
Corey
hier war
Fry
es wirklich
fight,
so, dass ich mir gedacht habe, okay,
that
ich hol mir den
really
Arm
made me
erstmal.
learn.
Die sind nass,
And in this
ich komm da
fight,
schon irgendwie raus. Dann hab
I
ich
was
gemerkt,
kind
er
of
dreht sich zu
thinking,
der Seite,
let's go
bin
after that arm.
Hab halt versucht mitzudrehen und dann habe ich schon gemerkt, der
But
Arm
his
ist lose.
arm was
Aber wie
slippery
gesagt,
because it was
war auf dem
wet.
Boden so schnell, dass er
So
sich da
that
schon
kind
wieder
of
mit
got away from me.
rausgedreht hat.
I couldn't get a good
Aber
hold on
er
it.
war nicht so,
He
dass
managed
ich
to slip
auch
away.
ansatzweise ans Tappen gedacht habe.
Ich war ja gestern nicht da, ich bin erst heute angereist.
So
Ich habe aber die
it's not
Pressemeldung
like
geguckt.
I was
Du
thinking
sahst
about
bisschen
tapping out or
vom
anything.
Gesichtsausdruck anders aus. Hat dich etwas mehr belastet dieses Mal? Dieser ganze Stress drumherum, also dieses Private?
We could kind of see pressure
Nein,
in your
also,
face.
klar,
Was
das gehört
it
dazu.
hard on you
Show
tonight?
ist alles schön und gut, aber
No, I think stress is a
also
part
ich
of
hab
it.
wirklich auf den Tag
Putting on a
heute
show is a part of it.
gewartet und mich auch darauf gefreut. Es ist
And I
Alltag für
was
mich.
anticipating today. I was excited. This is just everyday life for me. This is my job.
Also, wie gesagt, dieses in einen Cage oder in einen Ring steigen,
And
das ist
4
Alltag für mich. Alles,
to
was
5
davor
times
kommt,
I've been
das
to
ist das
the
Harte. Ich
EU
werde auch jetzt erstmal mir eine
Championships.
Auszeit gönnen.
This is
Ich
my
habe
daily
in 6
bread.
Monaten 3 Kämpfe auf 66
Now I'll
Kilo
just get some
gemacht, 3
rest
Cuts
and
gemacht. Meine
recuperate.
Kinder, meine Frau, dem werde ich
This
jetzt
is my
erstmal sehr viel
third
Zeit
fight
widmen.
in 6 months, my
ja,
third weight cut,
Pavel
so I
hatte
want to
mir
spend
in
some
Stuttgart
time
auch schon
with my wife and my 3
angeboten,
kids.
Das nächste Event wird ja, oder in Köln wird es ja bald
I
auch
got
mal
an
wieder ein
offer
Event geben. Und er hat
for
halt
the
gesagt,
next
so,
event.
was wäre ein Event in Köln ohne dich? Und deshalb
And they
machen wir
told
erstmal
me,
Urlaub, Disneyland. Mein Sohn geht weiter
hey,
in die
it
Schule,
wouldn't
dann
be
haben wir nicht mehr
an
so viel
event
Zeit.
in Cologne
wir sind gerade
without
so
you,
im
but
Marvelfieber.
my son's starting
Aber wie
school, so
gesagt,
I won't have as much
Stress gehört
time.
dazu. Es ist nur die
I
Frage,
want
wie du
to
dann
have
damit
time with
umgehst.
him
Und
while I
noch
can,
einmal das
and
letzte
that's gonna
Mal
come to
an
an
dem
end.
Tag, wo ich
And yeah,
gehört habe,
stress
dass
is
ich
part
gegen
of it, as I've
kämpfe,
said.
aber
It
meine
just
Schulterplatten
matters what you do with
aufgesetzt.
that stress and how you
Dann war
channel
wirklich
it.
nur noch Fokus auf Training.
When I
Ich habe
learned
das
at this
letzte Mal bei
fight,
meiner Frau im
I
Bett
closed my
geschlafen,
eyes,
ich glaube
focused,
Anfang November. Ich freue mich
and
heute Abend
I
einfach mal
put
wieder
everything
in
else
meine
aside.
Emma One Matratze,
And today I'm
die ich
just
mir am Black
happy that
Friday
that's
gegönnt
over.
habe, mich einfach mal wieder draufzulegen, um mal wieder zu schlafen.
I'm happy about lying on my mattress from the Black Friday
Danke, Dennis, und genieß deinen Time.
and that I'll get good sleep.
Letzte Frage von mir an Kalitaha. Ich habe ja den Kampf
Question for Kalitaha.
Du hast sehr stark gestartet. Gegen Ende der ersten Runde hast du so ein bisschen
You had a really strong start, very explosive, but then it kind of went flat. Did you lose stamina? You said you were in top shape. So was that something you did knowingly on your part?
Strategie. Ich habe meinen Bruder gehört, der
That's
hat
called
gesagt,
strategy. Have you
"Zähl
heard
dein
of
Leben,
it?
die Runde gehört sowieso dir, riskier nichts." Und wir dürfen nicht vergessen, mein Gegner
My
war
brother
durchgefallen.
said,
Wir wussten von Anfang an, klar haben die das vermarktet als hier.
he said, you want around, get some
Wir haben
rest.
natürlich analysiert. Der stand
But my opponent was dangerous.
Oktagon und
We
wir wussten,
analyzed it.
der kann ringen, der kann rollen und der kann
And
auch
he
striken.
was BJJ
Das heißt,
black belt,
mach
but we
keine
did watch
unnötigen
his
Aktionen und ich
fights.
sage
We
es
saw
immer wieder,
his
der Kampf geht
weaknesses and
15 Minuten.
strengths.
Die 15 Minuten nehme ich mir.
My
Du
corner
musst
was
nichts
like, don't do
erzwingen, der
anything
K.O.
that you
der kommt
don't
von
have to do.
alleine.
And I was like, okay, I'm not gonna push it.
Dementsprechend habe ich mich dann
I'll
einfach ein bisschen
just,
zurückgehalten, habe mir gedacht,
you
okay,
have the 5
dann
minutes.
finish ich ihn halt in der
And
zweiten
so I
Runde.
stood a little bit back. I
Von
saved
Emma und Maske direkt
myself.
Frage an Max, was hat dein T-Shirt da zu bedeuten? Bist du
Question for Max.
Ich habe Benny Barami sein T-Shirt geklaut.
Okay, das ist gut.
What is that on your T-shirt? What does it mean? Oh, I stole that from Benno. Now let's get to your fight. In the comments, we read some stuff.
Wie hast du das wahrgenommen? Hast du das wahrgenommen?
Somebody apparently from Dennis's corner was saying offensive stuff to you. Could you hear that? Yeah, I did. That was a conversation that I could hear with his dad during the fight. But that's normal. There's a lot of emotions during the fight, so that's nothing out of the ordinary. I respect that they have such a close relationship and that they cooperate, that they're such a duo.
Was soll ich dazu sagen? Keine Ahnung.
What else could I say? I'm sorry.
Frage an Dennis erstmal auch Riesenrespekt. Ich glaube, im Vorhinein
A question for Dennis.
wenn er nicht auf dem Boden hat, dass du dich verteidigen kannst.
Before the fight, no one thought that you could win, but in these 3 rounds, you showed how good you are. How did you prepare, especially for the ground? Did you prepare for grappling in any special way?
Also ich habe an dem Tag, wo ich gehört habe, dass ich gegen ihn kämpfe,
On the day when I found out about this fight that I will be facing Max,
damit ich morgens und abends dann die direkten Einheiten
I
im UFD-Gym, was das
booked
Grappling angeht, mitnehmen
a
kann.
training session.
Ich denke,
I
das
slept in
hat sehr weit nach
Düsseldorf.
vorne gebracht. Ja, wie gesagt, es gibt noch einige Baustellen, an denen wir arbeiten müssen.
There are still some things that we need to work on and that we do work on. But I think for me it's more grappling and wrestling defense that I focused on. So I can still do that. I don't have a problem with a 5-round fight. With the knee it was also okay. You know, we were ready for this also with my father. As I said, we're going to have a little rest right now, and then we will work on things that need to be worked on. We're maybe going to do a camp abroad. We have amazing gyms in Germany as well, though, so we don't have to go abroad. I still need to do one thing. I have a screenshot from 2000. When was the fight in Dortmund? 2023. He sat in the second round with my manager against Walid. And my manager told me that I have to face Max at some point. And then I saw his videos and I really didn't want to face him. I knew that I didn't want to face him. But, you know, it happened. So I have to say that the preparation, you know, I had some injuries. I had some injuries on my foot after the fight with Lengal. But I just wanted to show people also on the social media what I had to do. I had to do some therapy 3 to 4 times a week. For physical therapy. So, you know, maybe we will see in the future. You didn't want to shake his hand, we saw that. Why? Look, I kept saying this from the beginning. Lose it or win it, I'm not going to shake his hand. I could have come here and played on this show, but I'm an adult. And I said, I'm going to sit here at the press conference, I'm going to speak to the journalists, but that's it. I think that it's good that Max managed to get some distance, but when I say something, I keep my promise.
The whole fight, after the fight, I saw already you was very angry. How do you see this whole thing?
Yeah, it's part of the fighting in the end, yeah. Sometimes these things happens, was not how we want to look in front of the new people, because you have to understand that in this arena was how many? Almost 15,000. I'm not sure how much it's inside, but let's say 15,000. Maybe 10,000 of them, maybe even more, was for the very first time on MMA. Yeah, so they have to feel that they are in all times in a secure environment, that they can bring the families and they can be relaxed, on their places. So this is the only thing what I don't like. But otherwise, I think everybody understands that this is fighting, and the emotions are behind everything what anybody from us live in our normal lives. So, and it was nothing special. There was just a little bit pushing. So I was going there because I believe that at least me, I got some respect. So if I said to Papa Ilbai, calm down, he gave me his hand and he says, okay, I understand. Same with the Max. So, yeah.
Thank you. Frage an Johnny, bevor du gleich einschläfst. Ich glaube, du hast heute
Question for Johnny
dass du, sag ich mal, mehr
before he
als
falls
nur,
asleep.
Sag ich mal, im Schatten von Max stehst. Jetzt hat dich zwar wieder irgendwie in den Schatten gestellt, aber
Very often we heard about you being in the shadow of Max, and maybe he's overshadowing you again right now, but you got a lot more new fans. Don't you agree?
Auf gar keinen Fall in meinem Schatten. Der schlägt mich jeden
I
Tag
don't know.
zusammen beim Training. Also das ist absolut lächerlich.
He's not overshadowing me. He beats me at every training session. I wouldn't say that I'm in his shadow. But of course, Max was more in the spotlight right now, and there's nothing more that I can say. Okay. A question for Khalid.
Ganz rechts. Ja, ganz auf der Seite. Glaubst du, wenn der Fight kommt
Do you
mit
think
Max,
that
wird
when
das auch
you
so
have a
ausarten
fight
wie
with
jetzt,
Max,
gegen Dennis, oder lässt du das nicht zu?
Nein, ich glaube nicht.
is it going to be as emotional as this fight with Dennis?
Ich bin da abgeklärt genug.
No, I don't think so.
Also ich habe von Anfang an gesagt, guck mal,
I think it's going to be much calmer. I think that I can face him in a normal way. I know how he is.
wenn du willst, mach dich über meinen Kampfrekord
I said that if he doesn't cross some boundaries, it's going to be okay.
keine Grenzen, weil wir sind beim Sport.
If he doesn't
So, und lass es auch sportlich bleiben.
take the piss out of my
Dann ist
family,
auch alles gut. Ich überschreite
then it's fine.
ebenfalls definitiv keine Grenzen. Machen
If
vielleicht ein
he
bisschen lustig
takes
über
the
eine
piss
Glatze
out
oder
of me or
Das war's aber
laughs
dann
at
auch
my statistics, that's a different thing.
Also ich
Maybe
sehe
I
das
can
auch so. Und
take
ich
a
finde
piss
auch,
out of his hair, you know,
bei dem
his bald
letzten
head.
Kampf keine Grenzen
I think the
überschritten. Da wurde mal
same.
wieder gesagt, ich hätte
I think it's
das Familie gesagt oder sonst was. Ich habe einen
the same thing. I've never crossed any boundary.
wurde, sonst nichts. Also ich bin wirklich keiner, der
I've only ever defended myself. I'm not a person to attack other people's families.
Aber ja. Und ihr müsst auch immer sehen,
I
was wir
keep
alles machen.
making
Wir
jokes.
töten uns im
That's
Training. Wir müssen so viel Gewicht abnehmen.
normal, but you also have to understand that we have to do huge weight cuts. We train so hard. It's so hard on us, and then we have only one weekend to show what's in us, to show what we have. And of course, it can happen that you lose, and then you lose again, and then you don't have any money. So the show is a part of it.
Wie süß war dieser Sieg heute auch zu Hause? Du hast jetzt lange nicht gekämpft, warst
The next question for Kalitaha. You fought at home and you were injured for a long time. Is your victory even sweeter now? Definitely. I had to have this victory to reward myself. There was no other way. It wasn't possible not to win. It doesn't matter what scenario you imagine or I would imagine. I've never seen myself as a person who would lose, be it on the ground. It didn't matter. I knew I was going to win sooner or later. And as soon as my arms start punching, no one can defend themselves. The last question, Uwe. When he finishes scrolling on his phone.
Ein bisschen Ausblick, was ist schlimmer, ein MMA-Kampf oder in Neuseeland ausgesetzt zu werden und den Rucksack zu jagen mit
What do you feel uncomfortable about MMA fights when you compare it to being in New Zealand just with your backpack? Can you compare a little bit?
Ist ja beides eine Stresssituation auch irgendwie.
Ja, das eine geht
It's
2 Wochen, das
probably
eine
both
leider
stressful.
nur vielleicht 5 oder 15 Minuten.
So the one thing lasts 2 weeks, the
das
other
einfach viel
thing
geiler, weil da
lasts
passiert
about
was,
15 minutes. MMA is much more
I have a question
crazy,
for the
much cooler
promoters.
because there's always
Who
something
got the
going on.
bonus?
Frederick.
How he won? Submission?
Ja.
Okay. Hä? Was sagst du? Ich weiß dir. Ich dachte, das gibt's für Respekt.
Letzte Frage von mir noch. Letzte Frage.
The last question.
Max, ich habe das Gefühl gehabt,
Max.
du bist heute ein bisschen schneller gewesen.
I thought that you were much faster today.
Hast du was am Speed geändert auch in deinem Training?
Is it because you trained with Merab? Do you think that made you faster? No, I don't think so.
Also,
I think that I got ready in my gym in Hanover, in Fight School Hanover. And I think that I also didn't eat any shit and I could get a really good recovery after the weight cut.
And as far as your fight with Khalid, do you think that you'll have to prep for it better, or are you ready now? I know that he's very dangerous, but I think that I have the weapons it takes to take him down. He might get a KO. Or I might win in a boring way. Question for Fedor Duric. Fedor, this is your first loss in your professional career. What I want to know is, how did you prep for this fight? What was your strategy and what was your game plan? You had a very experienced opponent, and he's a great grappler. My camp was great. No big injuries. I was ill for a week out of my prep with flu. And yes, that did play a part, but I felt very good in general. Predrag is a strong grappler, and I felt that tonight. He went for the takedowns. He got me in those positions that he wanted to, but it was a great experience fighting him.
Last 3 questions, yeah. Okay, I have last one. Letzte Frage an Johnny Palokai. Johnny, Glückwunsch zum Sieg.
Question for Johnny Palokai. Johnny, congratulations. This is your 4th Octagon win. So who do you want to fight next?
Keine Ahnung, wie es weitergeht. Wir werden sehen,
Not
wie die
sure.
Rankings aussehen werden.
We'll see.
Die sollen mir einfach irgendeinen geben,
We'll
der
see
über
about the
mir
rankings.
in den Rankings ist, und das war's.
I want to get an opponent, of course, that's
Hier von
above me in the
Germany 5.
rankings.
Johnny, auch meine Frage an dich. Du hattest heute mit Novak einen sehr, sehr starken Stand-Up-Kämpfer.
Johnny, question for you as well.
Hast dich trotzdem darauf im Stand eingelassen. Ich fand deinen Striking heute sehr, sehr crispy. Es sah wirklich sehr, sehr stark aus.
Marek
War das
Novak,
wirklich
who's
der
a
Gameplan?
great striker, but you also showed some good striking tonight. Was that your game plan?
Wir haben gesagt, wir gehen jetzt einfach da rein und schauen, was passiert.
The game plan was just to go for it and see what happens.
Ich bin ein kompletter MMA-Kämpfer. Ich kann mit den Leuten
I think that I can fight anybody at any time because I'm a complete fighter.
Question for the promoters. We already had a stadium event with Frankfurt, the Deutsche Bank Park, 60,000 people were there. We are here in Dortmund, and you saw the Westfalenhalle, but there's also a big club here, the Borussia Dortmund, and it has a stadium with a capacity of 80,000 people. Is that maybe something you aim if you say bigger than Frankfurt? Here in Germany, it's very tough with the stadium. It's only maybe the Allianz Arena, I think, and Borussia Dortmund. So is that maybe one of the targets?
Yeah, but there is like 25,000 people staying on tribune now.
Yeah, but in Champions League games, like back in the days, they could like exchange it into normal places because it was Champions League regulars.
And how much is then?
I think roundabout might be 65 to 70,000 at least.
So, yeah, challenging.
Let's go. Okay,
it's challenging.
So I choose the stadiums right now. No, I'm kidding.
So
Can I have,
last one, yeah.
Last question?
Yeah, please.
Yeah. Frage für Edis und Uwe, für euch beide. Edis, du hast dich in Thailand vorbereitet. Ich fand, heute hat man deinen Thai-Stil gesehen. Auch viel inspiriert durch Hakan. Du hast da gute Knie durchgebracht.
We saw your Thai
Wir
style.
haben wenig von dir ringen gesehen.
We saw some great knees from you, Edis. We didn't see you wrestle though. Everybody kept saying that you were a great wrestler and that Uwe was a great striker, but we didn't really see that distinction in today's fight. Was that your strategy to surprise with your striking skills? No, not really. This is just where the fight took us. Yeah, tell us about your strategy. Well, my strategy, that was to keep my distance. That's what we trained for. But I didn't expect such pressure from him. What I was coming out of was the assumption that he would just stay in the middle of the octagon, and I just go round and round about him. He just went into it, though. He was so energetic, so was I. And we all came into it so quickly. And I was like, okay, I gotta do something. So I went for the 2 calf kicks. I think I hit him once, and then towards the end, I heard everybody was rooting for me. Everybody was chanting my name. I saw my corner really chanting for me, and that helped me getting my head game. And yeah, you saw the Tinies. I trained for 2 months for that in Thailand.
Also letztes Mal, es hat sich wirklich angefühlt wie ein Action-Movie von euch beiden. Danke auch dafür und vielleicht.
I kind of felt like in an action movie watching you guys fight.
Kampf für die Zuschauer. Dafür danke und danke.
That was the coolest fight for everybody of the night.
Ja, würde ich auch sagen. Oder Iris? Ja, würde ich auch sagen. Nee, also wirklich auch Respekt. Ich habe sowas ja zum ersten Mal gehabt.
I think that it was really worth it, and I think it would have deserved the bonus. Yeah, I think so too. I know that we bickered a little bit yesterday at the press conference, but it's nice that we can look eye to eye now, see eye to eye, and say, hey, that was fun. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, so thank you very much. Our next tournament is in Karlovy Vary. The rest of Tipsport Gamechanger 4 fights will be there, also title fights. Also Katarina Dalizda, Kerim Engicek will be draw his opponent, so it will be a lot of fun. And then we will back in Germany, May 17, crazy tournament in Munich. So we will see you there, guys. Thank you very much that you are coming, and thank you for the questions. Thank you to the fighters. Good luck. See you next time.
Get ready for the highly anticipated welterweight showdown. Andrei Kalashnik, the machine gun from Brno, has Karlovy Vary in his crosshairs. He'll face the formidable and experienced Mate Kertész. The Czech-Hungarian duel is bound to deliver fans an intense battle. Kalashnik and Kertész share an immense amount of fighting experience. Both fighters have managed to defeat Christian Jungwirth to claim the incredibly valuable scalp. Experience the pure passion of fighting up close and personal. For the first time in Karlovy Vary, OKTAGON 70, Kalashnik vs Kertész, coming to you on April 26th at the KV Arena. Get your tickets at octagonmma.com or watch the action live on octagon.tv.